Well, Siberian Squill is our focus here. And for this painting, I want to do just a little bit of a different look, and that would be to have some of our drawing in full color paint, and then some of it in black pen, and then even some more of it in pencil. And it just is a fun way to have something different in our sketchbooks. And also, I think when we're concentrated on the painting, we get so wrapped up in the colors, we might lose sight of the shapes. And with the drawing, we can focus solely on the different lines and the shapes. And adding in the pencil, there's just sort of a sense of freshness and sketching. So let's give this a try. So we can begin by kind of planning out our drawing, and as we are sketching some of these things in, we can think if we're going to have them in paint or pen or pencil. So why don't we start here and draw this part in these leaves down here. They look to me like hyacinth leaves, just smaller. And of course, squill are in that bulb sort of family, plant family, so there is reason to see similarities with other bulbs. And then the stem comes right out of here up to our flower. And let's draw the flower. So there are 6 petals. You can't always see all 6 of them, but you just want to make sure you don't put in 7. And you just need to watch the photo really carefully to see where the petals show up. And then the little stamens kind of come out from there. So actually, in some ways, I kind of want to just do this in full color and then maybe do these other ones behind in the pen. But I am going to draw them in pencil. And let's start with this one here in the center. We'll give ourselves enough space. Here we go. And this one here in the center is a little tricky because half of its petals are kind of hidden. It's interesting with squill, the way the petals unfurl. And then there's so many stamens going on that it's hard to see where the rest of the petals go. Just do your best. And down comes that stem. And then there's another stem close by to it that seems to be so much thicker. I don't know what's going on with that. But it goes up to this one up here. And we'll try to draw that in. You know, I didn't really know about squill until a couple of years ago, and my friend told me it's one of her favorite things, and she was pointing it out. So I started to then notice it. See, this is the thing. Once our eyes are opened, we see it everywhere. I started to notice it. I finally figured out that this blue carpet that I see every spring, I'm going to do this one now, is actually squill. And so I just loved figuring out that something I've been watching for 10 years or more, I finally learned the name of what it actually was. And then it makes me wonder, why didn't I learn the name of it much sooner? And my next goal is to get some squill because it spreads or naturalizes easily. Let's draw in some of these leaves here. The picture's a little dark, so you might just have to kind of make some up. I'm not going to put in all the flowers because that's out of my time limit. So we'll just put in some, and I think that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and paint this, and I say that we paint this, and maybe how about we paint this and then one of these so we can at least have two on there, and then we'll go in with a pen, and that'll be fun. Let's start with this purple blue color, cerulean. You know, cerulean is really coming into its own in spring. I don't use it as much in the other seasons. It just gets a little bit here and there, but boy, in spring, I am using it all the time. So I kind of just want a periwinkle color with the cerulean and the quinacridone red rose, and let's see if it's light enough. We can just paint all of these leaves, petals, with this color, as well as the little stamens that come out. We need to leave a little bit of room to add in the green, probably pistil that's in there. And then let's come up here, and it's this flower that we're painting. And we can, if we want to, leave a little bit of room for those stamens. It just depends. You might not have space to leave room, whatever. This is such a beautiful color. Okay. Now this one's just about dry, so we can darken up what we have here. Just the same cerulean and quinacridone red rose again, but less water, more paint. Hopefully it's less water and more paint than the first time. And let's go in and put in that sort of characteristic line that goes down the center. And it's a little bit on the stamens there. I feel like it needs to be just a tiny bit more purple, so I'll just add in a little bit of that red. And even towards the end of the petals, it kind of gets to be more of that color, so you could put a little bit of that color at the end of some of the petals. And let's see, this petal is really dark. I'm still not sure it goes with that one blossom, but it's the best I can see. And there's a line that goes down the middle. Okay, I think that's good. Let's get a little bit of yellow with a little bit of cerulean for that green. And if it's dry, you can stick that in there right like that. And then the end of those stamens have the color of pollen. It's really gorgeous. It's almost, we could almost just use some ultramarine blue, and that probably is the right color. I haven't counted the stamens to see how many there should be. You could do that, or just do what you think you can see best. All right, now for the color of the stem, we can use that bright green that we created. Put that in. And I think I'm not going to do any stems over here, just that flower. But I think it needs to be that green's going to dry just a little too too lightly for me. Let's take this bright green and put the first layer of our greenery down. And then we can put some darker color over it. Let's put some yellow here again, and then let's try some sap green. See what we think about that. It's getting a little too yellow. Okay, put in some cerulean. There, that's more of the blue-green. And let's paint these. We still may have to come back and darken them up. That's all right, we'll just get another layer on there. And it's dark back here. And then right kind of like that. Let's take that green we have and darken it up with some ultramarine. And then if this is dry enough, we can put in, might need a little more, we can put in the really dark parts. And it's dark back here, and it's dark under here, and it's dark back here, and maybe like that. I think that's pretty good. Now we could just add a little bit more green to our stem. I think we've got a good thing going on there. Let's add in our pen now. And really, that's just a case of tracing over our pencil lines with the pen. Now, this is not a waterproof pen. If you used a waterproof pen, you could erase your pencil lines. If I erase this, it's gonna smudge. So I'll probably just leave the pencil under there, which I like anyway with this composition because we're gonna leave that one in pencil. You can use the time that you spend with the pen just to kind of study the shapes of these petals and the stamens. And what else do we need to put? Oh, there's a petal that goes like that. And then if you want, you can darken this up because you can't see much of it the way I drew it so light. Then you could also take your pencil and kind of put in some of the sticks and the ground. There's dead leaves in here. Just to add some interest to this kind of show where it just helps those greens to pop out a little bit. Put some pencil markings in here like this. You can also do this with your pen, of course, too. Kind of a mixture of both. Do some dark parts of the pen in here. It's kind of whatever you feel like doing it. It's like a fun experiment, and we're celebrating this squill as we do that, drawing attention to it, and yeah, just giving our minds a little bit of variety.